Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today for Viscosity's Masterclass Series Expert Panel. My name is Monica Lee, and I'll be moderating today's discussion on Oracle Database with focus on Oracle Database 19c Business Solutions. Real quick, if you're not familiar with the company I work for, Viscosity, we're a full Oracle Stack consulting firm, and we are a system integrator specializing in Oracle Database, Oracle Apex, Cloud, and Engineered Systems. And today we're going to kick off our renewed Masterclass series with our All-Star cast. Let's go ahead and meet them. Okay, so I'm sure this is one that a lot of folks are interested in hearing about. So as many of you who'd like to chime in, that would be great. Any upgrade to Database 19c tips and tricks? And also, why is it important to upgrade now?
Yeah, definitely important to upgrade now, especially if you have a lot of databases. The biggest hint I could give you is definitely check out the auto upgrade tool. Mike Dietrich has some blocks on it that have a lot of detail, but it's a command line tool, just a Java jar file that you can use to do totally unattended upgrades. You fill out a text file with configuration information that it needs, answers all the questions. It'll run the pre-checks for you. It'll automate all the fix-ups, do the upgrade, run the post-upgrade steps, everything you need to do to upgrade it. And so you can do one database or 100, all with one config file. It even sets restore points so that something blows up along the way, you can do a flashback database and get back to a restore point if something goes wrong. Comes out of the box in a 19 install. If not, you can go, there's a MetaLink note that you can go to that will allow you to download it. Full user's guide, everything are in that MetaLink note. Just go search for auto upgrade tool. There you go. That's my biggest recommend.
I'll take a stab at it too. The general recommendations for upgrading to 19c or any other release apply. Things like creating guaranteed restore points prior to the upgrade, to what we recommend to all of our customers. The optimizer is going to be a big factor, and set your AWR retention, your ash retention to be 30 days or even 90 days prior to your upgrade planning, depending on whether you have to survive and go through month-end processing, or even we have customers that as part of the upgrade make us replicate the database back with Golden Gate and do zero downtime, and they want us to set the reverse replication back for like up to a year. We've had that, but set your AWR retention to be like even 90 days. And so and if you're using Apex, for example, starting at 18c, Oracle does not upgrade Apex for you automatically. So now that's a manual upgrade that you have to go through. Understand that. And Rich and I are doing a 19c presentation workshop related webinar for the NoCug this Thursday. And we actually go through a full hour of tips and tricks of upgrading to 19c. So come listen to us for that.
And I'll chime in on a couple, since a lot of database and memory customers, I wind up seeing upgrades and implementations that with database and memory, we're changing plans. So one of the things I always suggest is that making sure that you don't have any non-default initialization parameters set that you don't know what they are. And then typically unsetting any underscore parameters, especially when you're upgrading a release, and then if you actually do need them, then reevaluating those rather than having carrying along parameters and nobody knows what they're set for. That can sometimes lead to big problems, because as you upgrade, you have new functionality that you don't want to have it not be able to be used because some parameter has been set or some underscore parameter. And then with that, the other thing I have for optimizer settings, make sure, so especially in my case, when I'm talking with customers about database and memory, plans are going to change when you implement or enable database in memory to access your data. And so preserving optimizer statistics and execution plans before the upgrade, so you know what it ran like after you've upgraded it. If you have any kind of regressions or questions, being able to go back and either get those queries to rerun the way they used to run, or understanding what the differences were. So it's nothing worse than having a user say, well, now the query runs slow, but the reality is maybe they just didn't understand or didn't realize that query always ran slow. And you don't want to spend all your time trying to fix a phantom query or phantom performance problems. So those are kind of my tips.
Yeah, and one last thing too is that we have a lot of customers who were on either e-business suite or have EULA licenses, just come to the realization that at the end of this year, 11.204 is no longer supported, even from an extended support perspective. And so they're frantically trying to upgrade right now. And so during COVID, we've been going through a major upgrade mode for a lot of our customers, and we have upgrades going on just about every weekend. I think I've only had one weekend off during this entire COVID process. And so, but thing is that two more things from a tips and tricks perspective is that, especially if you're going from 11.2, a lot of our customers have to set SQLnet allowed connections on their SQLnet.org file, and also a lot of their database links break. And so make sure you capture your passwords, and so they might have to recreate them.